Hey guys, I haven't done a video in a minute, so I wanted to do that. Anyway, all the staining is done. This ramp, I ended up having to bring that because yesterday it was not supposed to rain. This was all that was left to do. It rained. I used that to cover it. I think we came out okay there. Let's take a look at the deck. Now I have wiped down everything, and this is what it looks like. So you can see this board still going to soak in a little bit over time, but I'm not too worried about that. And then here we're going to put the wood here. I've wiped it down, so at this point it just needs to dry for a little bit longer. And this isn't, I mean, right now we're looking at cooler weather and those boards not being very thirsty, so I am inclined to just put the wood back. It'll be just fine. I'll wipe it down one more time before I do it. But yeah, as far as, like, you see I'm walking on the deck, this is all good. But if you go in the house, I would just make sure to check my feet, take off my shoes, make sure that that's all good. I came back today and I touched up all these posts so that they're done all the way around. So we should have a nice look where the railing and the posts all match and look uniform. Here is the main deck. Now you're going to see in different spots where the wood came out lighter, the wood's lighter, where there's trees it's darker. There is some inconsistency in the wood. That is just the wood. It is the way that the deck is. Also, I told you this last time, but what I see down there from previous staining is Super Deck. Super Deck is a heavily pigmented solid stain, or semi-transparent stain. So areas that still had that stuff is really pigmented. You got to wait till it wears off. It's not quite, I like this Armstrong a lot better. That stuff it's got a lot of solids in it, so you tend to see its color retained, probably like right there. That's what the Super Deck does. And over time, this will change. But yeah, mainly dark spots from the tree. So this is after the rain. It rained quite a bit yesterday. I blew off the deck just so it wasn't sitting in water. But you can kind of see everything is nice and stained, and it held up nicely to the rain, so we're not worried about that. What you're going to see is a little bit of pollen that came off the roofs. I'm not going to have time to get to this. If I have time to come back, I have some other jobs I got to get to. I can do that another time. But anyway, that's where we're going to be. So this is all done, this is all done, this is all done. So then what I did is, you can see kind of where as I stained, sometimes stain gets on the outside, and really there's no way to avoid this with spraying with a sprayer, because when I'm spraying from the inside, blowing toward the outside with the spray, it gets on this whether or not you do anything. So like I said, I could have either masked it, and then if you get a drip like this where it comes through the slats, it goes behind the masking, or plan on repainting it. So I don't just paint over it. I take lacquer thinner and wipe it off because it's an oil-based linseed oil. So I take the lacquer thinner, I wipe it down, and then I paint it, and then we move on. So this section still needs to be done for tomorrow. I started on this post. I was trying to figure out for the back side of this beam, I can't really set my ladder right here and go up against the beam. I could, but it's really steep. So I was trying to do this. I wanted to do it where I could stick my ladder all the way out against this at an angle. Anyway, I was kind of playing around with that. Shouldn't be a big deal. We'll get to that tomorrow. So from this corner back, I've got all that painting to do. But all of this outside here is repainted, and all the way down that side. So all that stuff is done. There might have been one thing I saw on the stain just now as I was walking up there, just a little board. But then on this side, I went ahead and we're not doing the underside, but I did do the supporting posts, and then I did the stringers inside and out, so it all matches and looks nice. So this deck is all done, but I did have from the upstairs, it dripped down here onto this. So that'll be one of the last things, is I'll come back and I'll have to kind of sand a little bit up in there to try and take care of that, get it to even out and look correct. So anyway, that'll be something tomorrow. As you can see, I've got the paint out. So really there's not any other painting to do except for what I showed you at that edge there. And then here, you know, I wish I had time. Well, really, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but this going all the way down to make it all match, but I didn't want to just stop there, so I ran this where I could get to it inside and out all the way down to where it ends. I got this side inside there. I know they look lighter, but that's new wood. They're all stained. I stained this. This is already dry a little bit more. So all this section is stained. So really, I mean, I probably have a full day tomorrow. You guys may see me if you come up later in the evening. I'll probably be here till about 5 or 6. But little painting on that side, little touch up, and then getting out of here. So I'm packing up the pressure washer right now, and then we'll go tomorrow as I get all that painting finished, hoping to be done by 1 o'clock with the painting. Then I can kind of go around and look for anything. This got a little bit of rain on it, so I'm inclined, if it looks like, well, what happened was it started to sprinkle while I was on my way to get that, because it came in quick. The clouds came in really quick. The day before, there was no rain in the forecast. By the time I got back, it had sprinkled a little bit. So I had already stained it. I took a wet rag and tried to dry all the water off, and it looks like it's not water spotted. So I think it worked. But I immediately put that easy up over it, and then I left for the rest of the day. Came back today. If it looks like it might be able to take a little more, I'd like to throw a little bit more on it tomorrow before I leave, at least on this board, just to see if it's thirsty enough to take any more while I'm here. Because I mean, it doesn't take any time at all to do this. And then this board. I had avoided it because I didn't want to get anything on the concrete, so I have that. I had done the other side. I just need to do the top here and that. So I'll be going through and kind of fine-tuning things. You can see the weather. It's a little chillier. It's supposed to be warm tomorrow, but the weather's been kind of shifty on me. And then I'm going to take all the wood, put it back on the deck. I think we're good to go there once I wipe it. It's just going to be one of the last things I do. And now that I'm looking at it, I might stain just the exposed part here, so it matches. So anyway, hopefully you guys see it looks good. I was very thorough, and we're gonna be just fine for you guys coming up and enjoying it this weekend. So hopefully you're as excited as I am to be done with this project and moving onward. Anyway, have a great evening, and maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow.